Struggling with your trading strategy? Need a helping hand with the French Open? Watch this video now to see how my next trade goes in my 30 trade challenge. So here we are in another first round match in the French Open 2022. We've got an Ons Jabeur against Magdalene. And so again, you can see I'm trying to adopt the lay the favourite strategy by laying Ons, who's taken the first set at 1.04. So as you can see, I've gone in with a £4 liability. And the reason why I've only gone with a £4 liability on this is because I am wanting to sort of minimise my risk. I know some people may be thinking, why have you only gone in with a £4 liability? Why haven't you, sort of used the sort of maximum liability as in your strategy to sort of put onto this trade? But I didn't want to do that because as you could see just a moment ago, the odds on Lynette were quite high. So that says that there's really, the market's not really thinking that she's going to come back or that she might not. That's what I was thinking at the time. So I just wanted to keep my liability low, so I left it at that. And what I was doing here is looking to make a 10-click movement. So as you can see, I'm trying to offset what I've done with a £50 back stake at odds of 1.14. I will show you a picture of the graph. Stay tuned to see basically how this market moved, because you could see on the graph, which as I said I'll show you in a bit, that even though the odds were quite low, they hadn't sort of reached high numbers for Jabeur. She didn't get as far as like 1.8s and 2s and things like that. There was still enough movement within the market to be able to squeeze out some profits, so that's why I got in. I didn't really intend to have a 40 to 60 click movement in this trade, but I knew, and I felt and I also knew, based on the graph and also just the fact that Jabeur and Lynette have been popping up so much recently on the tour and having success, especially on clay, I felt that this was going to be a competitive match. So as I said in my previous video, click the link above if you've not seen that yet. It's important to be prepared to stay in for the long haul when you get into your trades. So I was prepared to stay in for the long haul. I knew a lot could happen before we got to the end of the set. And yeah, I've got a cover and bet in at 1.14 just to hedge out some of that liability and secure myself some profit. So we'll let it run and see how it plays out. If you're getting value from these videos, don't forget to click the like button. It helps with the algorithm, it helps to promote the video and helps to share the message. So Lynette's serving, and she's managing to be relatively strong on serve at the moment, which is good. And you can see as a result of that, the back odds on Jabeur are starting to climb. So Lynette is basically showing strength on serve, so it's making it less likely for Jabeur to win in this game because Lynette's gone 3 points ahead, and the odds are reflected in that. And so all I'm really doing is I'm just watching the odds. I'm not actually watching the match. I'm literally watching the odds and just observing the direction in which they're going. If it were a case that it started to go against me, so let's say instead of it being 105, it dropped all the way down to 102, I would be thinking, okay, well, she's getting nearer to winning now. Perhaps maybe I need to be removing some of my liability or looking to cash out. One of the things that I've learned, and I think let me know in the comments box below if you've had this same thing as well. But one of the things I've learned is The most important thing is, bank preservation. Make sure that you've got some kind of a stop loss either in mind or set up in, to sort of kick in, like, put it in as an unmatched if need be. But so many trades, if I think about it now, so many trades I've not had a stop loss in mind and have lost more than I should have. And that really has affected, at times it has affected your overall growth. And if you're thinking about being successful over time, these are the things that you have to assess and you have to work on and try to change. Let me know in the comments box below where you are in your trading journey. It'd be really interesting actually to hear if what I say in my videos resonates with you out there. So anyways, we can see now that Lynette again is serving. She's gone 30 love up, so again another strong service. Notice again what's happening to the back odds. They're starting to climb. So this is giving me confirmation, if you will, that my strategy is correct. I've chosen the right match and I've gotten in at the right time, and I'm now in a position where I'm able to take profits. And because I put that covering bet in so early on, practically as soon as I put my lay bet in, I'm already in position, so that if we get there, I won't spoil the fun for you, have to keep watching to see what happens. It won't take me long to get that matched. That's the idea. So we can see Jaber's got a break point. What some people do here is they'll top up a little bit more, so they'll lay a bit more because the odds have dropped down to 105, and then as you can see it's gone back to juice, and so the odds have gone back up. So I would only do that if I was pretty confident in my trading abilities and pretty confident that I was able to sort of get my stakes matched. Otherwise, I think it's really important that if you've got your strategy defined, you put your bets in and then you let them run. I think a lot of the time we allow what's happening in terms of the scoreboard and in terms of the cash out value to influence our emotions and the way we trade, and we need to remove that from, or at least manage that, I find, in order to have a successful trade and to have a continuation of successful trades. So one of the ways I think we can do that is by putting in our entry point, putting in our exit point, and just leaving everything else. Let me know what you think in the comments below. So as we can see, progressing along nicely. This would be a period of consolidation. If we were looking at the graph here, I'll try and insert a picture of the graph here. You would see that we're basically in a range of consolidation. We're going between 1.04 to 1.08/09, and that's because the games are on serve eventually. There'll have to be a break or it will go to a tie break, but if it continues on serve, you will again, as I said, start to see the back odds on Jaber rise. She is 3 break points, Lynette is 3 break points down now, and as you can see it's gone to 101. Now if I was really brave, foolish, I don't know what you'd call it, I would have topped up here. Again, I don't want to spoil the surprise for you, but yeah, I mean, some of you may already know. Did you trade this match? If you did, please let me know in the comments below. Let me know how you got on. So Lynette's making a comeback. It's now, she's gotten 2 points back, one more and then it'll be juice. Let's see if she can do it. And what I've got here on the screen, to your left, to your right, to your left, is I've just readjusted my position slightly. I think I may have looked at the graph again and saw that the peak seemed to be 1.12. So instead of trying to get that £50 offset at 1.14, I've readjusted it down to 1.12. And then, as you can see, Lynette's held and Jaber's now serving 15 love up. So essentially, I found this is the second trade of the challenge, and before I went into the trade, I looked at the the form of the players, the starting odds of the players. I looked at the first set statistics. I looked to see, how many break points there'd been, how many of those had been converted. I'd done all of that as confirmation, and then I swiftly put my lay bet in at the end of the first set. And as you can see, so far that has all sort of rang true. We'll have to see how it progresses, but it's really important, I think, as well, if you are trying to add structure to your trading, to not necessarily just trade off the cuff. Yes, there will be times where you can spot opportunities in the market, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you should. Just because you can doesn't mean you should jump in. So I'm trying to, with this challenge, test my strategy because I want to be consistent over time, and I want to use this strategy to get me there. So for me, it's about carefully selecting which matches to trade. And so before I got into this match, I did my pre-match research, my in-play research, my knowledge of how they've performed across the tour as I've been trading them across the tour. So I felt very confident in going into this before I did. And I think it's important that you do have that confidence in your trade, because then it helps you to be able to stay focused on the strategy and the plan. The most important thing is executing the strategy. It doesn't really matter what the strategy is, you just need to execute it properly. And I find those losing trades that we have, or where we've lost the whole liability amount, or more of it than we should, it's because we've not been able to handle that as well as we should have. But let me know, as I say, in the comments below. So here we are at 5-all, and Jabeur has got a point to take it to 6-5, which she has. Now, this is an interesting point in the match because Lynette needs to hold this serve to stay in the match, but by doing so, she'll take it into a tiebreak, as I'm sure a lot of you know. And generally speaking, I don't like trading tie breaks because, yes, you can get quite quickly some massive spikes and therefore profits, but as you know, it goes the opposite way as well, and you can quickly see your liability being eaten up. And if it's a best of 3, that's not really the kind of position I want to be in. So I'm conscious of that. I'm not trying to, as I say, get the sort of 40 to 60 clicks in this match here now because of that. So that's what I'm thinking. So I'm kind of, making sure that I protect that bank. That's my thought process here. So I'm going for the 1-to-1 ratio, ideally. So if I've got £4 liability, I'm trying to make £4 profit. You can see I've got that there, and you can see I've got on my 1.12 matched, and so you can see that not only have I removed all of my liability, but I'm guaranteed £2 regardless of whatever else happens. That being said, I'm still really wanting to walk away with at least 4, because that was what my liability was when I came in. So because of that, I'm being a little bit, okay, let's see what's happening. Let's see what we can do. Let's see how long we can stay in this tie break for before we cash out. So that's the plan, excuse me. And funnily enough, you can see it here. Jabeur is 3-1 up in the tie break, and she's on serve. And I've just dipped below that £4 mark, and Lynette's got the point back. So I'm refreshing vociferously, as you can see, because I want to make sure that, I'm getting the best updated prices on the screen. So I'm just going to let it play. Literally, I've sped it up for you, but this whole trade took over an hour to complete. I'm sure you can imagine a set that goes to a tie break will take that time. So here I'm just putting in some other positions, trying to hedge over some more, anticipating where the odds will go. Lynette's managed to get herself into a winning position in the set and is looking likely to take the set, and I expect her to take the set. So I'm just putting in different amounts, just seeing, where I can hedge out, trying to get a 2-to-1 now because I can see it's available. So I'm seeing what I can do to get that. And you can see I've put it in at 1.28 there, and essentially cashed out at the end of the set, as I said, with the strategies to cash out at the end of the set. And I've got 3-to-1. I had a £4 liability and I've walked away with £12 profit. So click the next video to see what happens in trade number 3. If you like what you've seen in the video and want to know more,